Welcome to Murder.
And everything else.
My name is Joy.
And my name is Cheryl. And Joy and I are two old friends that are going to talk about murder and everything else. Today is going to be everything else.
Everything else.
Something else.
And we are old friends.
Old. Capital old.
That's right. Hey, this is a quick reminder that this podcast is not for kids. And this week we're going to be heading away from murder, but that doesn't mean that the little children should be listening. So just be forewarned.
Yep. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and listen. And
Woohoo!
Follow and subscribe are the same thing, so don't get confused. And tell all your friends and your family.
That's right. You can find us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. But also there's Podcasters, which is a podcasting platform that's owned by Spotify, and you can also get us there. So go out and look for us. Also, we have a YouTube channel now. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We are so 2023.
We are so fancy.
I know. I mean, guys, don't expect to see us popping up on there in person anytime soon. But in the meantime, I, will put little reels and stuff up there, or shorts, YouTube shorts. That's what they're called. They're called reels on Instagram. I feel like I've gone to Instagram University in just the last 2 weeks. So, anywho, stand by for the graduation ceremony.
Yeah, I'm really into shorts now. It's terrible because I start watching and I can't stop because it's also different.
Oh, so what fills up your shorts? Do you get like dogs and kittens and stuff? Because you know what I get?
What?
I get cooking shorts, so little recipes, and I get baby stuff and toddler stuff. And then I get like the crazy, like, the lady who's at the gym and she's running on the treadmill and she falls down and the treadmill sucks her pants off. And now she's laying face down off the treadmill on the ground and her pants are all around her ankles. Yeah. So I get that. Those are the three genres I get. The weird, like crazy, like naked blooper, or the guy in the, like, in the, what do you call those things? The roller coaster ride at the fair or at amusement park, and he goes up and screams and then he vomits all over the lady sitting next to him. So I get such a strange mixture. What are yours?
I get compilations of people falling like that, and compilations of people scaring each other, which is hilarious. And then it's so funny, I'm telling you, especially when they get mad. It's because I would get mad. I think I would get mad. And then I get I get dance ones. There's a girl named, oh my God, I forgot. Anyway, there's these three people, two guys and a girl, and they do these, it's called like an animatronics type of dance. Anyway, they're really good. And then I get back cracking. I get chiropractic stuff. So last night, and then what happens is I lie in bed and I go, it's like I'm rationing or allowing myself like to only have a certain amount of candy. So I'm like, okay, you're only going to watch like 4 shorts. And then an hour and a half later, I'm watching somebody get their back cracked. It's so satisfying to hear that sound. Plus, I love having my back cracked. So I'm watching them going, oh, I wish that was me. Yeah, get it right there.
Next thing you're going to tell me that you're going to start watching Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, I've already watched that.
Ew.
Yeah, but it kind of grosses me out too much. Look, I'm getting chills just thinking about, I've watched some. It's satisfying but gross. But anyway, that's what I get. Yeah, I can watch back cracking, and I like the shorts because when I watch like a YouTube channel for chiropractors, I skip through all the diagnosis or when the person's telling them all their aches and pains.
You
I
just
skip
get to the
all. I
cracking.
just want to see the Kraken. Just go get to
Oh
the
God.
crack-a-lackin', people. I just want to see the crack-a-lackin'. So I've gotten into shorts, but it is terrible. I am not exaggerating. I'll be like, you need to go, and I'm tired too. But I start watching and I look at the clock and it's like, oh my God, it's an hour and a half later, and I just can't stop watching because they're all so different. Some of them are funny. Kevin can hear me from across the house like cracking up. But anyway, so hopefully we'll have some of those. Are you going to be cracking my back on our YouTube short from
No.
from all the way across the country?
No, but you know what would be funny is we could make some where I'm pretending to, and then like we'll have like one of those like percussion like things, that has the grooves, and you run the wooden thing where you go grrrk, and
Yeah.
so we could pretend that your back is getting
Oh,
cracked.
okay. All right. Well, that's going to be so unsatisfying for me because it's not
I
really
know,
getting
right?
cracked.
But do you
Anyway.
think they're really getting their back cracked, or do you
Oh,
think it's a
yes.
setup?
No, these are real chiropractors. Why would it? It's not like why would they be faking it?
I mean,
But they,
come
they
on.
have
It is the internet.
no, but they have the microphone right there. I have a roller that I roll to crack my back, and it's very loud. So if you have a
Huh.
microphone right there, yeah, it's real. I believe it.
I don't crack my back.
You crack your knuckles.
I have a really bad back in the middle of my back. There's something wrong with it. And I haven't gone to the doctor yet, but I will. But anyway,
You crack your knuckles though.
I do crack my
You
knuckles,
see,
but I don't
it's
like to
very
crack my
satisfying.
back.
But some people, I don't. I used to crack my knuckles, but anyway, some people like their back cracked.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Well, let's go into our highs and lows. You want to take it away?
yes, of course I do. Okay, so my low this week is that the allergy. So it's the end of May, and my eye, just one eye. I'm sure there are people out there that can relate. Just one eye is constantly watering. You know how it like gets to the corner.
Oh.
Although Christine, my friend that oh, I need to say this real quick. So if anybody heard my low about Christine at work, I did not make it very clear. People were probably scratching their head because I was scratching my head when I listened back to it. I was like, you are not making any sense. On Mother's Day, my friend Christine at work was supposed to only work the first half of the day and then enjoy the rest of her Mother's Day with her daughter. And there was a mix up, or the person that was supposed to relieve her did not relieve her. And I was sick, so I could not relieve her. And therefore, she missed her celebration with her daughter. And that's what I was talking about. That I should have dragged my poopy butt in there because I was sick and I got, yeah. Okay, so Christine is also suffering from so yesterday at work we went in to say goodbye to one of our other concierge, and we're both dabbing our eye, just that one eye. It's
Weird.
been terrible. My eyes have been so itchy and scratchy, like I want to pull my eyeballs out and put them in some kind of solution. But I've realized last night or this morning that I had run out of Claritin because I was on a subscribe delivery, on auto delivery on Amazon, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize that they never sent it. So, and I
Uh-oh.
have, okay, I have a days of the week pill pack, and I take so many gosh darn vitamins and medicine and whatever that I didn't even notice it. And then it finally dawned on me this morning. I was like, that's why. Because I was thinking I've never experienced this here in the 2 years we've
Do
lived here.
you? How many pills do you take every morning?
7. So I take 7 pills.
Whoa!
What? Hold on. 7 pills and 4 different gummy chews. So 7 pills
Whoa!
and 2 fiber gummies and 2 calcium gummies. So what is that? 11 actually altogether.
I only take 2.
What? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, I thought 2 was bad.
No. Well, I'm taking
But
B.
I don't take the vitamins. I always feel like if you eat a well-rounded diet,
Well, there you go.
that you don't need the vitamins.
But yes, and I'm sure that's true. And then I'm living proof of that because I'm taking 11 different pills.
It's
Um,
that Crunch Wrap Supreme.
it's that big, like, piece of cake I just had that was half the size of the whole cake.
Mm.
Um, anyway, yeah, so I figured it out, and then just, you gotta love Amazon because I ordered it this morning, and 2 hours later, it showed up on my doorstep. And it was so funny because I was telling,
Holy crap.
yeah, I told Kevin, I was thinking, oh, I should just buy it. I can just run to the store. It's right down a block away. And I was like, no, Amazon will have it here in a couple hours. And sure enough, they sure did. Same day delivery.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you listen to Ronnie Chang, but he does a whole thing on Amazon that is hilarious. You have to listen.
I'll have to
Netflix.
go and hear that.
Yes, yes, it's hilarious. So that's my low, and hopefully with my Claritin, it's gonna clear that up because there's almost nothing worse than having itchy eyes. Oh, okay. And then my
Oh,
high.
I can think of something worse.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
anyway, let's hear your
Ticks,
high.
ticks in your hoo ha. Um, okay. And then my high is my 9.95, not $995, $9.95 pair of sterling silver earrings that I bought from Amazon, and they are sunflowers, and they are the cutest things, and they're really nice quality. Like, you can feel that they're not just like, there's a little bit of weight to it, but
Huh.
there were so many reviews. First, I had in my cart a pair of, like, they were like 29.99. That's expensive to me. I mean, I usually try to get stuff that's cheaper than that. But it was really cute. It had like a moonstone, and then I still might get it. But I have it in my cart, and it was 29.99. I was like, so I kept looking, and then I saw this pair 9.99, 9.95, and I read the reviews, and they were all so good. I was like, I can return it if I don't like it. And they are so cute. And they're sterling silver.
Ooh.
So
You have
I'm
to
very,
take a picture and send it to me. I want to see.
okay. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing fancy. I didn't, but here's the thing with sunflowers. For anybody that knows me, you know that I love sunflowers. It's my favorite flower, and I just love it. But sunflowers can look like, and no offense to anyone when I describe it like this, but they can look too country-ish for me. You know what I mean? They can
Yeah.
kind of look,
Rustic.
no, I like rustic. But
Oh.
when it's like, like that,
Annie,
um,
get your gun.
yeah, yeah, there's certain,
Yeehaw.
there's, okay, let's not offend our yeehaw demographic out there. But when it
Ooh.
looks a little bit too country, I can't explain it anyway. So
Yeah.
it's
I know what you mean. It's like the metal barn, and it's got like the leaves are separated and it's real scrawny.
yeah, I don't know. I anyway, there's a
Ah.
certain look. Anyway, so I was, anyway, it was 9.95, and they're so cute. And sterling silver is, it's very weird that you can pay very little. I have a toe ring that I bought from like some arts and crafts thing in Santa Barbara. You know how they have the sidewalk thing? And I swear I bought it from there for like $10. I've had it for 40 years or something. And it
Wow.
never tarnishes. I never take it off. I shower with it, swim with it, everything, and it's never tarnished. And yet you can buy a piece that's much more expensive and it can tarnish. So I don't know what the deal is with
Yeah.
sterling silver, but I feel like these are going to do well, and they're super cute for 9.95. So that was my high.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to start with my high because it's super high, but I got, and it's not me, I'm not high, but I got a package in the mail this week. And when I opened it, it had 2 mugs in it, and the mugs had our logo on them. They're
Oh,
so
fun.
cute. And if you're following me, I'm sorry, if you're following us on Instagram or on YouTube or on any of the socials, you will have seen the mug because
Said
I
mug.
yeah, because I am I'm pimping it out all over the internet, but it's so cute. And then Cheryl's husband went to work and made a Christmas logo. So anyway,
It's
I
very
know
cute.
that I I will say that there are two very lucky recipients of mugs on this planet, and you're the only two people who have them, and you know who you are because they'll show up in your mail. But for the rest of the people on the planet who might want one, hold your horses because we're still looking for a place that will make an affordable mug with affordable shipping and handling that you can click on a link and order should you feel so inclined. So just be patient. But in the meantime, I get to drink my coffee out of my Murder and Everything Else mug. And it's
And you
just
can
so,
admire it.
oh, it's so stinking cute. It's so cute.
It is really cute. We're very proud of our logo that my
Oh my
husband
God.
did. Um,
Yeah, it's
and
so
yeah,
cute.
we have so many plans for it, but not just mugs. We're hoping in the future to do all kinds of other fun stuff. So
Right. We're gonna
stay
have we're
tuned.
gonna have a dildo that has a big old Murder and Everything Else on
Uh,
it.
oh God. Oh my God.
Stay tuned.
Oh, bitches.
Anyway, that's right. And then my low, let's see. I actually had a a rough time coming up with a low because I got to tell you I had so many highs
Oh,
this
you're
week.
just so happy.
I know I'm so happy peppy, so excited and blah 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 and I'm rolling into a week of vacation, guys. So I have no work for a week and it's a holiday weekend so I get 3 days. I mean, can you just feel the excitement in my voice and
Yeah.
how many highs I have? But I will say that my low is that I had to take Bruno in for a follow-up,
Oh,
and, the issue with his, I guess he has, like, a bacterial infection in one ear, and then he has something else in the other, I don't know what. Probably bugs because he's always rolling around and he's
those ticks and
scratching and
slugs
licking,
and
and I know,
uh,
but so he's still on medicine and he does not like riding in the car and he does not like going to the vet. And he does because remember, my husband's a vet, so he's never had to go anywhere. Our animals have never had to go anywhere. They get all their like, anal glands processed by this guy who lives in the house with big hands. But anyway, um he doesn't like riding in the car, so he cries all the way there. He's
oh,
white and he's shedding, and the inside of my car is black. So there's now hair everywhere. And he also doesn't like other dogs. So there's like this whole thing that we have to
oh
do
gosh.
when he goes to the vet. And he's almost 100 pounds. You know what? That's probably why my back hurts because I had to take him to the vet
Oh,
and
that's it.
yeah, and he
That's
was
it.
yanking on the thing and he's like I'm trying to corral a 95-pound dog. It is no easy feat.
No, and yeah, what? So I have to medicate Jet and Bodhi when they're going to have something done. Do you think if giving him some kind of, sedative or even
Well,
a holistic one might help
I
him in
guess
the car?
I was worried that if he got all sluggish, then the other problem is I won't be able to get him out of the car because he weighs too much.
Oh, well, me, you just have to find the right dosage, just enough to take the edge off so he's not. Poor thing, he doesn't
Yeah.
like the car ride and he doesn't. Well, you know what I
And
do
he
with.
cries. He's such a baby.
I
He cries
know.
all the
That's
way
what.
down in the car. He cries the whole time he's in the exam room. He cried the whole time in the back while they're checking him out and stuff. I could hear him. He's like, "Woo, woo, woo, woo." I was like,
Oh,
you know how like when you go to the doctor and you can hear somebody's kid screaming down. I'm like, that's my dog. That's my dog.
you,
That's my
you know,
dog. That's my
I
dog.
know my dog scream. Yeah, try Rescue Remedy. A friend
Huh.
recommended that, and I tried it with Callie because she'll cry or she'll bark the whole way there and the whole way
Uh,
back, and it actually helps, and it doesn't dope them up
uh,
because it's just like a holistic thing.
huh.
You just put some drops in their mouth and then try it
Oh,
because it'll be a better experience for everyone,
yeah. I'll try it.
including him. Yeah.
I'll try it because man, that I think that's what happened because I've been having problems with my back. So maybe yeah. I don't have to take
That's
him
what it
back for
is.
yeah, I don't have to take him back for 2 more weeks. So my back will get better, and then in 2 weeks I'm going to feel like I broke my back again. So
Yeah.
we'll just stand by for that
Stay
fun
tuned,
update.
folks.
That's right. Hey, we got to roll into our shout outs this week. I
Okay.
just have to give 2 shout outs. One is to Elise in Cupertino, who reached out via text and said, she said, I haven't been on Facebook for a while. She goes, and then I just checked in and oh my God, you have a podcast. And she's like, I love podcasts. And I started listening. So that's one of our new subscribers. And a shout out to Cheryl's sister in law, Annie, who is also a new subscriber. Guys, we're up to 63 subscribers.
Yoo-hoo!
Woo!
Yay!
And I thought the new subscribers were coming from all this like Instagramming and YouTubing and reeling and shorting and all that. But it's not. It came from people we know. So anyway, it's
Word
very
of mouth.
exciting.
Word
That's
of
right.
mouth. Yeah. So share.
Anyway, guys, this week we are
Back
we're
by
going to
popular demand.
that's right. We're going to steer off of murder. We're heading into the and everything else category. And we're going to be talking about our top 5 international movies, or otherwise known as, well, they used to be called foreign films back in the day, but we call them not English movies that have subtitles. So that's a very long title. So we just called it international films.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're
Yay!
gonna do like we did the last one. Cheryl's gonna start. She's gonna tell us the movie, give us a little synopsis, and we'll see how many of the 5 films, which are probably all slasher, hack job, like murder, dead body films that Cheryl loves that I have never seen. So take it away, Cheryl.
Okay, well, you, Joy, and everyone out there is going. If you have listened to our top 5 movies, you're going to be astounded by my top 5 because they are
Mhm.
nothing like my top 5 international movies are nothing like my top 5 movies. So you are going to be just blown away. Your mind will be blown. But I want to put in a little disclaimer that I am going to be butchering some French and German names. I just want to put that out there right now. It's going to hurt. It may make your ears bleed. I did my best. I even went to, how do you pronounce this? How do you pronounce that? And still, I'm sure uh, I'm going to butcher it.
This is
And
gonna hurt you more than it hurts her.
exactly, exactly. So I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to start with my number 5, which is the French movie Camille Claudel. This movie
Ooh.
was released in December 21, 1989. It's rated R and it's 2 hours and 38 minutes. It is a French Camille Claudel is a French biographical drama film about the life of 19th century sculptor Camille Claudel. The film was based on the book by, okay, here we go, Ren Marie Paris. Oh my gosh, your French friend. Please, I hope she doesn't
Ah,
unsubscribe from
wait,
this. I don't know
wait,
how you
what?
pronounce Reine. Rain, Ren.
Rain,
Grant,
Rain? I don't know.
the film is based on the book by her. She's the granddaughter of Camille's brother. Granddaughter of Camille's brother. Okay. The poet and diplomat Paul Claudel. It was directed by Bruno, oh no, Newton, Nuitten, and co-produced by Isabelle Adjani, who is actually the star of the film. She plays Camille, and she is beautiful. I think she's one of the most beautiful women, and starred uh, Gerard Depardieu. Everybody knows him, right? Because he's been in a lot of
Oh
English
yeah.
films, American films.
He was in
And
that movie, Green Card.
Green Card with Andy McDowell. Yeah, so you'll
Yep.
know him. You might not really know her, but she is absolutely beautiful, and she was just stunning in this movie. Um, she was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role, the second in her career. The premise of this movie is the film recounts the
Wow.
troubled life of French child prodigy sculptor Camille Claudel and her long relationship with the married sculptor Auguste Rodin. Is that how you pronounce his first name? It's August with an E at
Mhm.
the end. She was the daughter of a devoutly Catholic socialite mother and a wealthy French businessman. While the latter was sympathetic to her highly iconoclastic secular art, her mother found it odious. What does odious mean?
Hateful.
All right. Beginning in the 1880s with the young Claudel's first meeting with Rodin, the film traces the development of their intense romantic bond. The growth of this relationship coincides with the rise of Claudel's career, helping her overcome prejudices against female artists. However, their romance soon sours due to the increasing pressures of Rodin's fame and his love for another woman. Man, this guy gets around. He married another woman. He had Camille. After Claudel's father dies, she's at the mercy of her mother's ire. These difficulties, combined with her increasing doubts about the value of her work, uh, drive her into an emotional tumult. And while her zealot, mother zealot, is that how you pronounce it? Zealot.
Zealot.
Mother wants her institutionalized, her sympathetic brother tries to comfort her and promote her artwork. It's very devastating. This movie is devastating because she was very talented, and all this, her love affair with Rodin and all of this just kind of brought her down, and it was very sad. I don't. Are we going to do spoiler alerts in this? I
Oh,
feel like if no one's watched any of this, you might want to skip ahead. If we mention a movie and you haven't seen it and you want to see it, you might want to like fast forward because we might be talking about the endings. Yeah?
yeah. Sounds
Because
like a good idea.
yeah, so it's very sad. She does become institutionalized, doesn't she? I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I just know I loved it. So the awards, 1989, it was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, including a Academy Award for Best Actress and Best Foreign Language Film. Oh, that's what they say, Joy. Foreign language film, not foreign
Foreign
film.
language
Yeah.
film. That's good.
In 1989, it received 5 César Awards, including the César, I'm going to pronounce it like that, because it sounds fancy, awards for the Best Film and Best Actress. And in 1989, Isabelle Adjani received the Silver Bear for Best Actress at the 39th Berlin International Film. So if memory serves me, she does, I can just Google it. But anyway, you did see this film, didn't you? Isn't it
I
a
did. I
beautiful
watched it with
movie?
you.
Oh,
You- I'm glad you remember.
it's so memorable. I'm sorry. No, seriously. Um, isn't she beautiful? Oh my God. Isn't
Yeah,
isn't
she was very beautiful.
um so yeah, that's my number 5, but
Nice. That's a good film.
it's very
It's
good.
very tragic.
It's very tragic because she is
Yeah.
um she's institutionalized, right?
Yeah.
And she was so, I mean, didn't they say she was more talented than Rodin? And you never hear of her. People don't know who that is. They don't know who Camille
Right.
Claudel
You
is, but
know,
they know who Rodin is.
it's so interesting you said that. I just listened to this thing on NPR this last week where they asked a group of students to name 3 female artists that were famous, and they got to Frida Kahlo and they couldn't remember anyone else. And I was in my car and I was like,
Shouting.
listening, and I was like, "What about Georgia O'Keeffe?" I was like, "She was a remember she drew the painted the beautiful flowers?" And then I was like, "Camille Claudel." But of
Yeah.
course I was like, but
Nobody
that
could
was
hear
it.
you.
I couldn't name any more, even though I studied art history and I know that there are hundreds of female art, but like, could I remember any? No. So there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really tragic. It's tragic in so many ways, but yeah, she was actually more talented than he, but because of her mom and, anyway, if it's
Wow.
not one thing, it's
It's your
your.
mother.
Okay, so that's my number 5. What's
Yay.
your?
Well, I am going to also follow that up with butchering the beautiful French language. I
And
did
it's
study French for
so
a
beautiful.
year, but I will tell
I took it in
you
high school too. Yeah.
that Francois's favorite activity is correcting my deplorable French accent. So here,
Yay!
Francoise, this one is for you. My number 5 film is the film Amélie,
Oh yeah.
which in French was called Le Fableau Destin d'Amélie Poulain.
Ooh.
It came out
That
in
hurts your throat.
2000, yeah, 2001. This film is rated R. It runs 2 hours and 2 minutes and stars the lovely Audrey Tautou and
Ah,
Matthew Kassovitz. It's
she's
a
so cute.
story about a girl named Emily whose childhood was suppressed by her father's mistaken concerns of a heart defect, and she doesn't really get to like do the normal things kids do, so she resorts to a fantastical world. Later on, she moves to the central part of Paris as a young woman and becomes a waitress. And after finding a long lost treasure belonging to a former occupant of her apartment, she decides to return it to him. And I just have to say, that it's the style in which this movie was made. I had never seen a movie that used cinematography like this and that told a story like this. And it was the combination of the music and the cinematography. And then she has this very pixie face. And then the colors, it was just not, I never seen anything like it. And it just spoke to me. I could not I I was so intrigued.
Yeah, she is
And
so cute. Oh, those
oh yeah.
dimples in the hair and those big round
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah. Um, After seeing the reaction of the guy that she returns the lost treasures to, she decides to devote her life to the people around her, such as her father, who's obsessed with his gnome from his garden. There's a failed writer, a hypochondriac, a man who stalks ex-girlfriends, etc. And she tries to like she goes on these escapades to kind of like help them fix their lives or sort out their lives, but then she in the process of this she discovers that she is disregarding her own life, so she needs to become more aggressive, take a hold of her life and capture the beauty of love that she's always wanted. And it's less to me of a love story with someone else, but more of a love story with herself. Like she's learning to love herself and love life. And that was the thing that really spoke to me about this movie. It's so good. And I've probably seen it 20 or 30 times. So if you've never seen Amelie and you are looking for a foreign language film, you need to look at this one.
The only scene I remember from that is the one that I told you where she's having sex. I think it's her first time, right? And it's the shot is from above and she's lying on her back and he's on top of her and she's like giggling.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like
yeah,
making
yeah.
these faces like she thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
It's
I have to
so
say
cute.
I went through a period when I've grown my hair out and then cut it short, grow my hair out, cut it short. And there was a period where I was looking at all her pictures because her hair is so cute the way she wears it.
Yeah,
Anyway, she's adorable.
she is.
Okay, we're ready for number 4?
Oh yeah.
Okay, number 4. We go from France to China. My number
Ooh.
4 movie is The House of Flying Daggers. Yoo-hoo! And I almost forgot about
Ooh.
this. I want everyone to know that I actually was hesitant to do this top 5 international movies because I was telling Joy I haven't really watched any, and then she started reminding me of all the ones that I've seen. So these are the ones that I can remember, and they're also fantastic. But I think there are some other Asian films that I couldn't remember. But my number 4 is House of Flying Daggers. It was released on December 10th, 2004. It was rated PG-13, and the runtime was an hour and 59 minutes. Not 2 hours, an hour and 59 minutes. So this wuxia. I went to Google and I said, how do you pronounce Wuxia? Wuxia, wuxia. That's how it repeats it over again. Wuxia romance film directed by Zhang Yimou. I don't know. Yimou.
Zhang Shimu. Zhang Shimu.
Zhang
Isn't it?
Shmu.
Zhang
I.
Jimu?
You're asking me? And
He's
starring
famous.
everyone. I'm Japanese. I was born in Georgia and I was raised in Hawaii. So there you go. It's starring Andy Lau and Zhang Zi. I looked Zhang Zi, that beautiful girl, woman, and Takeshi Kaneshiro. So they have a Japanese
Ooh.
there, a Chinese cast. Unlike other wuxia films, it is more of a love story than purely a martial arts film. So if you guys have seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you know that martial art, like that beautiful cinematography and like all those
Yeah.
fancy they do. I love it. I love martial arts. One of my
With
dreams
Michelle
was,
Yeoh.
yeah, oh, she's a badass.
Yeah. And
Oh,
is it Chow Yun Fat that's plays opposite her? He's
yes, he's
so
so
good.
handsome.
Yeah.
He's like the Chinese Jason Mimosa. Okay, the film opened in
I
limited
think Henry
release.
Golding. I think Henry Golding is the is the Asian Jason
Jason,
Momoa.
no, he's not rugged enough.
Yeah, he's very
That's my two
pretty.
cents.
He's
Yeah,
a very
no,
pretty
no.
boy.
I think Chow Yun Fat is a good equivalent of Jason Momoa. Okay. The film opened in limited release within the United States on the 3rd of December 2004 in New York City and Los Angeles, and opened on additional screens throughout the country 2 weeks later. The film grossed $11,050,094 at the United States box office. That seems really low, but this was back in 2004. But it then went on to significantly overperform in home video market in the United States. The film was chosen as China's entry for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film for the year 2004, but it was not nominated in that category. It did receive a nomination for Best Cinematography. So the movie is about the Tang Dynasty, and they're fighting to keep control over China, a battle they were losing to several rebel groups. One such group is the House of Flying Daggers, who steal from the wealthy and give to the poor. Two police deputies working with the government, who are played by Takeshi Kaneshiro and Andy Lau, are ordered to investigate the dancer Mei, played by Z, who is rumored to be working with the House of Flying Daggers. But both men fall under her charms and decide to help her escape instead. Also, it does not say that she is blind. Not the actress,
Ooh.
the character. Do you remember that? She's blind.
Yeah.
So she had to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
blind, and then she does that one dance I told you where she they come into, like, it's kind of like a equivalent of like a geisha place, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she does that dance, and then she throws those beans, and they go all the way across with the drums, and it's just beautiful. And if you like martial arts and a little bit of fantasy, beautiful cinematography, and a love story in the middle of it, this is a great film. Check it out. House of Flying Daggers. One of my dreams, now it's off the bucket list because of my bad knees. I always wanted to master a martial art, but I took Hapkido at one point, and I took Kung Fu at one point, and yeah, I always wanted to be like a badass black belt. But
That's
anyway,
cool. I
so,
took Aikido at one point and I took Kempo Karate at one point. So that's funny that you took two martial arts and I did too.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't, I mean, all I can remember is um that I learned how to roll without like hurting myself. I
Well,
remember
that's
that.
a good skill.
Yeah, but I probably couldn't do it now. I'd probably end up like in traction. But
But don't you
anyway,
need it now more than ever? Because we're going to get to the
yeah,
point where we're falling a lot.
that's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
All
What
right.
was your number four?
My number 4 film, I think I've talked about it before. It's called Sweet Frances.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 2014 film, rated R. It runs 1 hour and 47 minutes and stars Michelle Williams, Matthias Schoenaerts. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. He's a German actor. And Kristen Scott Thomas, among other very good actors.
Mm-hmm.
It is set. This movie is based on the second part of I believe it's pronounced Irene Nemirovsky's 2004 novel of the same name. And I don't know what she won awards for the book, but I don't know specifically what. But anyway, it's the first days of the occupation of France by the Nazis, and Michelle Williams is trapped in a miserable existence with her controlling mother-in-law, who's played by Kristen Scott Thomas, and she does such a good job. She's so like, ugh, she's just so uppity, and she's got a stick up her bum, and she's peaked and very nobody likes her. Anyway, they're both waiting for news of Michelle Williams' husband and her mother-in-law's son because he's a prisoner of war, but Parisian refugees start to pour into their small town, and then a regiment of Nazi German soldiers take up resident in the town. And back during World War II, the people in the town had to accommodate these men and let them move into their homes and feed them. And regardless as to what they thought of what was happening in the war, they had to feed them, house them. A lot of these soldiers committed atrocities. Anyway, a handsome and refined German officer, played by uh, Matthias Schoenaerts, stays with them, and soon a powerful love drama draws them together and leads them into the tragedies of war. One of the things I love about this movie is it's not, it doesn't have, it has a interesting ending. Let's just say that. So I'm not going to give it away because it's so well done. You need to see it. I think you would really like this film.
I
Um,
probably
even
would. I
though even
actually,
though you said you don't like Michelle Williams, I will
baby.
say that
Oh,
Matthias
Michelle Williams.
Schoenaerts plays the piano in the song. There's a piano upstairs and he plays it, and she's drawn to the music. Because remember, this is during wartime, and there's all these atrocities happening. They're seeing people gunned down in the street. They're seeing what's being happening to their neighbors and their countrymen and to the Jews that live in their town, and they're being rounded up and they're being, abused horribly and carted off to concentration camps. And so all the horrors of war, and then he's playing this beautiful music. It's just such a dichotomy because he's part of the bad side. But how
Mm-hmm.
could he produce such beautiful music? It's really well done, really well
I
done.
will have to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so well done. Anyway, so what
Cool.
is your number 3?
Okay, my number three, and I'm noticing a trend here. Even though we are going back to Paris. We like the French. Oui. Um, I My number three is also about strong women. Because in House of Flying Daggers, the women kick butt. Okay, and here
Mhm.
is another butt kicker. My number 3 is La Femme Nikita. And please, people,
Oh,
when you think of this, do not think of the television series. Do not think of the American version with what's her name? What did I say her name was? Bridget
Bridget
Fonda.
Fonda.
Please do not erase that from your minds. The original film is
That was
a
called The Point of No Return.
no, I'm talking about La Femme Nikita. It is a French film. It was released February 21st of 1990 in Paris and 1991 in the US. It's rated R and the runtime is 1 hour and 57 minutes. La Femme Nikita, also called just Nikita in France, is a 1990 French language action thriller film, and it is action packed. Written, directed by Luc Besson. I love him. Did you see The Professional? With,
Yes.
okay, that's a Luc
Oh,
Besson
so
film.
good. So
hmm
good.
hmm This is how I first learned of his name. The
You
film.
love these you love these, like, ladies kicking ass, taking names and numbers.
Yes, I do. That's why Thelma and Louise is my favorite movie. But yes,
Oh,
I just noticed
yeah.
that. I just noticed that because in House of Flying Daggers, the women kick ass in that movie. Oh, sorry, I just hit my mic. All right, so the film stars. Here we go. Here comes another murder of a name. The film stars Anne Pari Pariu. Pariu. Maybe if I whisper it, I know what Joy. Maybe if I whisper it, it'll sound better. And
Yeah, that's right.
as the title character, a teen criminal who is convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment for murdering a policeman during an armed pharmacy robbery. Her government handlers fake her death and recruit her as a professional assassin. After
It's so good.
intense training, she starts a career as a killer where she struggles to balance her work with her personal life. She shows talent at this, and her career progresses until a mission in an embassy goes awry. Nikita was commercially successful but received mixed reviews from critics. What the hell do they know? It was remade as Black Cat in 1991 in Hong Kong and remade as I mentioned, Point of No Return in 1993 in Hollywood, and in Bollywood as Cartoos, Kartoos, in 1999. Two
Wow.
two television series were produced based on the film La Femme Nikita, 1997 to 2001, and a series was based on Nikita in 2010 to 2013. That's right, because Maggie Q played, I think, Nikita, and then there was this other blonde that did the La Femme Nikita TV series. Okay, but for having received mixed reviews from critics, boy, was it remade a lot. So you know people like it when you're trying to like
Oh,
do their own
yeah.
version of it. But I beg you, anyone who has only seen the American versions of either the TV series or the movie Point of No Return, I am pleading with you to please see the original. You cannot compare. No one can compare to Anne Pugh. Um, because she has the right amount of femininity and kick-ass power. Like she is believable as an assassin. Bridget
Yeah,
Fonda
she's
looks like,
amazing.
I love Bridget Fonda. I have nothing against her, but she looks like if you blew on her, she would fall over. So
Yeah.
yeah, the actress
Oh,
in
she's
original,
very tall and thin.
yeah, but so what? In the original film, Anne Pariu is perfect. She's just perfect. She's perfection at this role. And if you like kick-ass women, an action-packed movie with a love story, because I'm going to do a spoiler alert here, she falls in love. But I gather, I don't know from firsthand experience, but I gather it's hard to be in love and be an assassin
Right?
because she can't hide her work. Well, she's trying to hide it from her lover, but that's pretty hard because she gets a mission at the drop of a hat. And in one of the scenes, she's enjoying this vacation with him, and then she gets the call, and she's like, fuck. she has to do this mission while she's trying to, enjoy her time with her love, and she has to kill someone in the middle of it. It's so good, you guys. Watch it. Especially, I'm begging you, if you've only seen Point of No Return, I beg you to watch the original. The end.
It's
That's my number
so
three.
good.
It's
It's
so
so
good.
good.
She's so good.
Yeah, I love that film.
Yep.
All right, so roaring on to my number 3. It is Life is Beautiful.
Yes, you
La
always.
Vita. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you always loved that movie. Go ahead.
I love, love, love this movie. It's La Vita Bella in Italian. It was made in 1997. This film was rated PG-13 and runs 1 hour 56 minutes and stars Roberto Benigni and his wife in real life, Nicoletta Braschi. I don't know if I pronounce that, if it's Braschi or Braschi.
On
Anyway,
this in this episode, everything's perfect.
right. In 1980, he met the actress Nicoletta Braschi, who became his wife in 1991 and who has starred in most of the films he has directed. And it is a story, it's actually based off of the book In the End I Beat Hitler by Rubino Romeo Salmoni, and also by Roberto Benigni's father, who spent 2 years in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp during World War II, which I thought was so fascinating. It's about a carefree Jewish waiter named Guido who starts a fairy tale life by courting and marrying a lovely woman from a nearby city. They have a son, and they live happily together until the occupation of Italy by German forces. And in an attempt to hold his family together and to help his son survive the horrors of a Jewish concentration camp, Guido imagines that the Holocaust is a game and the grand prize for winning is a tank. It is a
Oh my
tragedy.
God.
They call it a tragicomedy.
Yeah, it
And
is. I
there
forgot
is a
about the tank.
yeah, there is a famous line from this movie that he says to his wife all the time after he meets her, and it's "Buongiorno, principessa." And
Yes.
so when the girls were little, we would always say that whenever we would say good morning to them.
Oh,
Yeah, I just love this movie. It's so Roberto Benigni, I swear to you, he's like a national treasure. When he won the Oscar for
yes.
best
I
foreign
was
language
gonna
film,
say.
he came down to collect it by climbing on the backs of the seats in the theater, and it was so iconic and hilarious and so Roberto Benigni. So if you have not seen it, you should head over to YouTube and Google it
Yeah.
or search for it, because he's just a crack up. And there's also another movie he made called Johnny Stecchino, where he plays a man who's just like a waiter in a restaurant, but also there's this famous mafioso gangster named Johnny Stecchino who looks just like him. And it's so hilarious. I mean, you don't even have to know how to speak Italian. You could turn off the trans subtitles and listen to it in Italian and howl. His facial expressions are just priceless. He's a
Yeah.
physical comedian,
Yes.
kind of in the like Charlie Chaplin style, and he is so, so good.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's
it
my
really
number
is
3.
good. That's a good one. And I'll never
Yeah.
forget that when was walking on the backs of the seats. And I know it sounds like rude, like if somebody else were to do it, it would probably be rude. But everybody was like they were so happy for him, first of all, and he was so happy that it was such an iconic moment. And then
Oh,
people were
yeah.
kind of trying to hold him up and help him to the stage. Yeah, that's a really good one, and I forgot about it. It's been so long since I've seen it, but yes, excellent, excellent. And I have to say, your Italian accent is pretty damn good.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
all right, ready for my number two?
Yep.
I have to say that I had a really hard time between the one and two. So I'm going to say they're kind of on an even playing field, but I had to read one before the other. So I'm just basically reading one before the other. So my number two is a movie called The Lives of Others. It was
Ah,
released February 9. 2007. It's rated R and runtime is 2 hours and 17 minutes. You see, Joy, none of these were 3 hours. Is it's a German film. Oh, okay. If you thought I was butchering names
Ah,
before then, we're getting to the Germans now, and I promise you, this is going to be a disaster. It's a German drama film written and directed by Florian Henkel von Donsermark, marking his feature film directorial debut. The plot is about the monitoring of East Berlin residents by agents of the Stasi, East Germany's secret police. It stars, oh boy, Ulrich Müller as Stasi Captain Gard
ah,
Whistler, Ulrich Tukor as his superior, Anton Grubitz, Sebastian Koch as the playwright George Dryman, and Martina Gedeck, that's not right, as Dryman's lover, a prominent actress named Krista Maria Seelen. Basically, you probably all you heard was a bunch of very poorly pronounced German names. And I just want to say, if we get anybody from France, Germany, or China, I deeply apologize. I am not making fun of your language. I just, again, I'm a Japanese person, born in Georgia and raised in Hawaii, and never spoke. I don't even speak Japanese. And I love your films, so don't hold it against me. But basically, the plot is about this guy who's monitoring this couple, and one is the wife is an actress, and the guy is a playwright, and that's it. And I know it sounds like okay, but in listening to them and monitoring them, the guy falls in love. The guy who's doing the monitoring, he falls in love with the wife, and it just takes off from there. And if you like endings that bring you to your knees, this is one of them. It will make you, I like I told you, Joy, I had somebody watch it, and he like caught his breath. He the very end, something happens and he went like he had a visceral reaction, and then he cried. Now, men don't cry easily watching movies, and he cried, and it's well, like it's
wow.
understandable, justified. So,
It's a
um,
very good
I
film,
so
and
want to. I
I wanted to put it on my list too, but I only had 5 movies, so
well, good. We can see. So everyone, we both really recommend this one.
yeah.
I so want to go into the details of what happens and how it ends. But just trust me, it is an ending like no other, and you need to watch it. Anyway, I highly recommend this movie. If you have not seen it, it is amazing. The end.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's so
Very,
good.
very good. You have a good list. You haven't had a single slasher movie on there.
No, no, I said
You're
that people
getting
are going to be
soft.
shocked. People are going to be in shock and
Yeah,
awe.
you're getting soft.
Yeah.
You're in the squishy foreign film genre.
Yes, well, maybe it's what they do well. It's what they do
Yeah,
well is these types of films. Okay, so
it's
tell
true.
us, what is Joy's number two?
My number 2 film hails from the beautiful and diverse country of Mexico. It is the movie Like Water for Chocolate.
Oh,
In Spanish,
yes.
it was Como Agua para Chocolate. It was released in 92 based on the book by Laura Esquivel. It was rated R and runs 1 hour 45 minutes and stars Lumi Cavazos and Marco Leonardi among a group of phenomenal actors. I actually read this book before it was made into a movie, which I'm so happy I did because the book is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's about a forgotten Mexican village. A young girl Tita and a young boy Pedro fall in love, but their marriage is forbidden because of the tradition that Tita has to care for her mother being the youngest daughter in the family and that she won't marry. Um, and her mother does not want her to break the tradition. Her heart breaks when her mother offers Pedro her sister instead, and he accepts just to be near her and to live in the same house as her, he says. Now they live in the same house, and the mother, Elena, cannot forbid their love as she did their marriage. So they're still very much in love with each other, but he's married to her sister. And there's all this like spiritual like component to this because the mother haunts the house and haunts her after she's no longer alive. And there's just all this beautiful like cultural imagery and the food. So this is what I love, love, love about this is she's a really good the girl Tita is a very good cook, and she puts all of her self into the dishes she makes, and so the people who eat them have visceral reactions based off of what she was experiencing when she made the food.
Is it? I've only
It's
seen
so
this
good.
once. Is it when she's crying and her tears go into
Yeah,
the
into the wedding cake. And because she's so sad, it makes everyone who eats the cake sad, but then they all become sick, violently ill, and they're like sick and they're like run over to the river, remember? And they're throwing up in the river. It's so well done, so
Yeah,
well
it's
done.
a really great movie.
And the ending of this movie, again, it is a love story, but it's not the kind of ending that you would expect in a love story. It's like it just kind of transcends like what we know as like, and then they kissed and then they hooked up and then they got to see someone's naked butt and then the movie's over. That's not where it goes at all. I mean, yeah, they kiss and then they hook up and then you see his naked butt, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
what I love
great.
about this movie. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
that's
a
my number
great one.
2.
That's a good one. I remember that. I remember the tears when she's cooking.
Oh,
Okay.
I love it.
All right. Well, I am a glutton for punishment because my number one is also German. I just really wanted to just give myself a really hard day. I wanted to complicate my day.
That's
Anyway,
right.
I put it as my number one, but again, number two and number one are running head to head. But my number one is The Reader. It was released January 9th of 2009. It's rated R and the runtime is 2 hours and 7 minutes. And it stars Kate Winslet. And The Reader is a romantic drama film directed by Stephen Daldry and written by David Hare, based on the 1995 German novel of the same name by Bernard Schlink. It stars Kate Winslet, Ralph Fiennes, and David Cross. It was the last film for producers Anthony Minghella and Sidney Pollack, both of whom died prior to its release. Oh,
Oh
I
my
didn't know that.
gosh.
That's
I
too
didn't know that.
bad. Production began in Germany in September 2007, and the film opened in limited release on December 10th, 2008. The film tells the story of Michael Berg, a German lawyer who, as a 15-year-old in 1958, has a sexual relationship with an older woman, Hannah Schmitz. She disappears only to resurface years later as one of the defendants in a war crimes trial stemming from her actions as a guard at a Nazi concentration camp. Michael realizes that Hannah is keeping a personal secret she believes is worse than her Nazi past, a secret which, if revealed, could help her at the trial. Some historians criticize the film for making Schmitz an object of the audience's sympathy and accuse the filmmakers of Holocaust revisionism. But all I know is it's a great movie. Um, so the kid is only 15 when he has this relationship with her, right? And then he goes on to law school, and so they're in this courtroom. Is it he goes on to law school, or his father? I think he's sitting in the courtroom, right, with his other.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah,
number
he's
one
a
movie
he's a
that I
law
can't
school
remember.
student.
Yeah, he's a law school student. So he's sitting in the gallery, right? And he like freaking recognizes her, and she's on trial for war crimes at a
Yeah.
Nazi concentration camp. It's so complex. Um, I can see why critics would say they made her sympathetic, but I don't know how much I should go into detail.
Yeah,
Um,
you don't wanna give it away because it's got a huge, huge, huge plot twist,
twist. Yeah,
and I
it's
will say that, when I was watching this movie, I yeah, the plot twist was so it's so compelling. I
yeah,
don't know,
it's
I feel like we need to remember that, movies are movies. They're 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 there to entertain us, to make us think about, like, life, to they're supposed to be thought-provoking, for us to focus on, this small story. It usually is a 2-hour window. Um, it provides commentary and dialogue on society and what's happening in life and where we are as a society. I mean, they're stories, and there's many, many books written and many cartoons and many, anime. Like there's so much out there that to read. I guess I don't know.
yeah.
I
I
didn't feel like they glorified
I didn't either.
her or made her, made people sympathetic
Sympathetic.
to no, if
No,
anything, it was very, very clear that she had, she was on the wrong side of the law of, like in the story, the movie I was saying, Sweet Friend Says, um, you sympathized with not just, you can have sympathy for somebody, but it doesn't mean you glorify it, if
right,
that
or
makes
agree
sense.
with with what they did. Yeah.
Right,
And here's
exactly.
I don't think that sympathy is the right word. Um, I think what they did in this story was to show her, her as a human being, and without giving too much away, I feel like it, I know it's going to sound really ridiculous, but she kind of looked at it like she was doing her job. She was very like stoic and pragmatic about it. Um, I think deep down inside she knew it was wrong, but yeah, but the plot twist is so much a part of this movie that you
It's
guys,
pivotal
it's
because
pivotal. You have to watch it,
you
y'all. You have to
you
watch it.
actually you realize that and also, in this day and age, I can tell you it's been many, many, many years since I've ever run up against a situation like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not a common situation, although I'm sure that these kinds of things exist? So
Mhm.
you have to see it. It's so well done.
Kate Winslet kicked butt in this movie. She is so good. And if you want to talk about an ending that will is a gut punch, this is one of them.
Mhm.
Highly recommend. Run out and rent it right now. Well, you don't have to run out. You can just do it right from your couch.
Go to your local Blockbuster, kids.
Da, 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 da. That's my number one. What's yours?
That's a good one. My number one film is Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown.
Oh my God, I don't know if I've ever seen that
It
one.
is, in Spanish, it's called Mujeres al borde de un ataque de nervios. It came out in 1988. I was 19 years old. It is rated R. It runs 1 hour and 28 minutes and directed by none other than the immortal Pedro Almodovar, who is hands down one of my most favorite directors.
Mm-hmm.
He has made other films like Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, All About My Mother. Remember there was that one where you said you couldn't watch it because it like made you laugh. Anyway, he has made so many films.
Yes.
Just and if you've seen him once, you can never forget because he has this shock of white hair that sticks straight up and he doesn't really do anything to it. So he made High Heels, Live Flesh, All About My Mother, Talk to Her, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. So many films. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
also I believe this is, he put Antonio Banderas on the on the acting like stage. This kid, I mean, he's probably 21 or 22 in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to see a young Antonio Banderas, it stars
Ooh.
Carmen Maura, Antonio Banderas, and Rosy de Palma. It is the story is that Peppa's lover Yvonne leaves her. She tries to contact him to find out why he's left, and in her search for Yvonne, she confronts his wife and son, who are as clueless as she is. Meanwhile, Candela, her friend, is afraid of the police might be looking for her because of her ex-boyfriend, a Muslim terrorist, and his criminal activities. As the plot develops, it's revealed that everyone's lives are more intertwined than they could have ever expected. It is very stylized. There's a thing that Pedro Almodovar does where he incorporates the colors, the sounds, the sights, the smells. I mean, everything about Spain in his films. It's almost like you can taste what the actors are tasting. And you have to watch the films to understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It is
I think I've seen some of them.
so, so well done. And this movie is very dialogue heavy. So, and just for a little bit of like why I love this director so much, I went to Spain when I was 18 for the first time and stayed for between 9 and 10 months in an exchange program. And that was when I saw this film. And it I probably only understood maybe a quarter of the film, but I'd never seen a film like this before, and it blew my mind, and I've gotten my hands on every film this man has made and watched them. And sometimes back when it was VHS tape, that was not that easy to get your hands on foreign films
Yeah.
on VHS
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't release them in the United States all the time, and they didn't release them with subtitles. And so they weren't films that appealed to your average audience member. So I had to go through hoops sometimes to get these films. But I just, oh, I just love this film. And I never talked about the awards any of these films have won, but I know some of them won a lot of great awards. But um, yeah, I think they were all nominated in the foreign language film
Oh
category at
yeah,
the
he
Oscars.
makes great films.
Yeah, yeah. He really does. He leans on the Spanish, like the Spanish workforce and Spanish towns and villages, and because he's a Spaniard and he's very like has a lot of pride for his country. So it's really, really great. The music, ugh. Anyway, you just have
Excellent.
to, yeah, yeah. This
Everybody
was
has to run
so
out
fun.
and see all these movies. And I have to say, I can't believe I didn't put anything of Guillermo del Toro's movies in there.
Oh yeah, he's
I
great.
love. Have you ever seen The Orphanage? No, because you don't like scary movies. But if
No.
you like scary movies and you want to watch a foreign language film, The Orphanage is excellent. And I forgot about it.
Did you ever see Pan's Labyrinth?
Yes, that's another one that I really love. I love
Yeah,
his stuff.
that's a great
Yeah,
film.
no, that's a
It
great
wasn't
film too.
really horror, but it was like not horror, you know?
Yeah, he does kind of more like eerie, kind of like fantasy. No, well, the
Yeah.
orphanage is scary. That's a scary movie. But yeah, he didn't make it on there, but he's my honorable mention. But yes, everyone, if you haven't seen any of these movies, open your computer or your
Yeah.
iPad.
I was waiting
No
for you to
need
tell people to run out there
no
again.
need to get in your car unless that's where you like watching your movies.
That's
Um,
right.
run out and rent your. Do you know they still have Redbox at some of the grocery stores?
Yeah. Well,
Why?
there are, and I can tell you that when I moved here, I didn't know this, but there are lots and lots and lots of places in our country that does not have
Internet.
accessible and affordable and reliable internet,
Oh,
and it's a crying shame.
yeah.
So people have, a lot of people have pay as you go cell phone service. They don't get
Wow.
to stream the kind of stuff that we stream. It's really crazy. It's like,
That
and
is
if
a
you think about it,
travesty.
I mean, girl, I've been talking to you on the phone and dropped 35 calls sitting on my front porch. So that tells you exactly like the
Yeah, you're
condition of, you know, of like telephone service in rural parts of the country, and we're not even that rural, you know?
exactly.
So you
Yeah.
go up into the Appalachians, I'll bet
Oh,
you
I know.
anything
That
there's
must
like
be
3 people
tough.
that have streaming service.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
however you need to go out or whatever, go out, beg someone
that's right.
to watch it at their place or however you
That's
need to
right.
do it. Check out these films because they are fantastico.
They really are, and just a warning, there are subtitles, so you're gonna have to dust off your reading glasses. Anyway, Cheryl, even though we didn't talk about murder today, you know what's a crime?
What's that, Joy?
That we are out of time.
Oh, man, you're right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone, and don't complicate your day.